Hey everybody, welcome to another video. I know I haven't posted one in a couple of weeks, but it's been really busy, and I couldn't think of anything I wanted to post. I was also waiting on some comics to come, and today we're going to talk about the Sensational She-Hulk number 8, and I've been waiting on it. Apparently that one shipped late. Sorry, I've got all my subscriptions here. That one shipped late, so that was kind of weird, and I actually got it late. I mean, this one's been out for over 2 weeks now, and I just got this yesterday, I believe. Yeah, I just got it yesterday, the subscription. So sometimes, you know, I guess that's just what it is, I guess. But it was late to begin with for people, so, and I don't know why it took so long to get to me, but I've already seen that the new ones are already been set up to come for June already, so hopefully those get there a little bit, or at least on time this time. I don't really care. I mean, just because it didn't come out, I didn't get mine until the day, you know, whatever. You know, it's kind of nice. It's always like nice to go out to the mailbox and go, oh, I forgot I have that coming. And, you know, like it's like, you know, little Christmas every time. But this one came in perfect condition. I know some people were commenting about they don't like subscriptions because they get dog ears and everything. I mean, as you can see, I mean, this one's probably one of the best. It comes in this little mailer bag, and then you get this little, it's not really a full backing board, but you get this little doodad. It's got the address, you know, and the postage on it, and then of course it talks about the different ones that are available for subscription. So yeah, so we're continuing that story. I've got the other ones here from before. This is where Jen goes with Jack of Hearts to that resort, that space resort. So she's still there in this one. I got the CBR pulled up, so we'll go ahead and look at that. So I don't have to keep flipping through this one. But okay cover. I like to see her in her. I mean, she was. Yeah, she didn't have her costume on for the last 2 issues, but she's got her costume on in this one. Her modern costume, you know, the purple and white leotard with, like, you know, comes all over to her neck. And it's pretty much what she wore before. It's not open top. Well, no, the other one, the Fantastic Four was an open top. That one was up to a collar and had that white part. So it's sort of like that. She's got the cool, you know, the high top tennis shoes, kind of look like Reeboks. And then the gloves instead of the, you know, the fingerless gloves instead of the white gloves, or the wristbands that she had, you know, back in her original costumes or her older costumes. So I don't mind her new costume. This one's not bad. I'm actually, her hair is big, so she looks like She-Hulk. It's a little, the Jack of Hearts is a little too stiff. And I've got, let's look at the CBR. I've got some issues with, got some issues with her legs too, a little bit here. Let's switch over here. Yeah, you see, I don't know. I mean, her legs fine, I guess. Her thigh seems to be a little bit. I mean, she's got, you know, big thunder thighs. You know, big muscular thighs. You can see her muscles there. Everything looks good. Just a little too angular, I think, for me. I think it should soften. I like when that's softened out, but I mean, that might be the artist. As you can see, this artist does it in the arm too. I don't believe that this is the artist that does the interior pages. We'll look. I can't remember from last month, so we'll look at that. Should say, but the hair looks nice. You know, one thing, and I had this problem when I was doing covers, and you got to watch it. And this person, I think, is kind of pushing it. Is covering up the title. That I know. I don't think this cover was. Maybe it was thought out okay. I guess, I don't know. I mean, they put the little. I guess that's been down there. Oh, no, that's new. Yeah, they've changed the little. Whatever they call it, the little number counter, because as you can see, the old ones. Last issue, it was up in the top, how it's been for a while. I wonder if the newest Spider-Woman comic that I have like that. I still haven't got any of my Captain Marvel comics yet. hopefully they'll be coming here. It's supposed to ship for the June issue, so I was kind of hoping it would ship the last issue, but that's fine. We'll pick up on June. I'll get 12 issues regardless, so it's, I mean, you know, I've been kind of reading the CBRs online to kind of keep up until I get the comics. And I usually also, just to let you know, when I do get a comic, physical comic, I usually sit down out in the living room, you know, and sit there and read it, or I'll sit here on my workstation here and I'll read I like to read the actual comic. You know, I can go back on the, like we're doing here at the CBR, and look at the art close up, blow it up and stuff like that. But when I first like to read it, I like to traditionally just sit down like I'm reading a comic. So, sorry. I don't know, the cover I guess is okay. It seems a little odd, but modern covers are all... I've got issues with modern covers to begin with, but you know, I don't want to get into it a lot in this video. Well, I guess I'll touch on. Let me touch on this real quick. Hopefully, it's real quick. But you know, I've been listening to people's comments, and I made some comments on some other sites and stuff, and people had responded to my comments and stuff, and you know, this whole thing about, you know, which comics are better than what, regardless of all the arguments, right? I mean, you know, whether this one's got this, which one's got that, this one doesn't do this, this one does that. I mean, you can sit there and go back and forth all day on all that stuff, and it gets kind of tiresome after a while. Here's the thing, and I think I mentioned this. I don't think I mentioned this in the previous one of my videos, but there's two things going on. One is, you know, I'm 50. I'm going to be 51 next month, not this month, but next month. And I'm, you know, as long as my memory is still intact and I don't, you know, have a failing illness, I've got probably 30 years left on the planet. And, you know, I want to enjoy what I've always liked for most of my life. You know, I've been a comic book fan collecting since 1984, but I've liked them since before that, even when I was younger. You know, and I do comics, you know, and I've always drawn comics and blah, blah, blah. It's, you know, I don't want to just say, I just don't want to just give it up. It's been such an integral part of my life. And if the new comics aren't as good as, say, some of the ones that I had in the past, some of them are, some of them aren't. You know, I think it's, to say that all new comic books are shit and the old ones are better is a pretty, it's just not true. Some of them, yes, are a lot better than the ones that are out now. There are some good stuff, good comics coming out now, which leads me into my other point. Okay, like I said, 1984, I started collecting comic books with Secret Wars, and then I ended up getting the Wolverine Limited series, and then I ended up getting, you know, and started in. So the two comics I was collecting, sorry, there's 4 comics through 84 and into 85 that I've collected, and then, you know, in 86. I'd say those 3 years of 84, 85, 86, when I'm basically 11, 12, 13. The Uncanny X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, and Secret Wars. And those are the 4 main Marvel comic books that I collected. I didn't start getting any DC really until, like, well, I don't know, whenever, you know, I'm trying to think. I didn't get, like, Watchmen #1 right when it came out. I got it a couple of months late, and then ended up picking them up. I didn't get Dark Knight right off the rack. I had to buy it in back issues, you know, fairly soon after it came out. Crisis on Infinite Earths, I think I did start with issue 1 on Crisis on Infinite Earths. But, you know, The Killing Joke I got when it came right out, stuff like that. But, you know, as far as monthly comic books, I collected Amazing Spider-Man, Secret Wars until it was done, because it was 12 issue series. the Uncanny X-Men, and the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, the deluxe edition. 4 comics, right? And for the most part, that's pretty true all the way up until I kind of stopped in the early 90s, I think 91, 92. So I only collected a handful, I mean literally a handful of comics, and there were a few maybe I picked up later on or some limited series, but as far as just regular monthly series, they're really the main was once Marvel Universe was done, once Secret Wars was done, pretty much it was just the X-Men, the Uncanny X-Men, and Amazing Spider-Man. I got a few web-ofs here, you know, or spectaculars, depending if we like the crossovers, and like I said, limited series I pick up all the time, but those are the main comics I got, and the annuals, of course, right? So that's it. Today, I have 3 comic book subscriptions from Marvel, contemplating getting 2 more possibly. I'm also contemplating getting a couple of DC ones, right? And also, because I don't know how to get the subscriptions are goofy for Image. I'm having my local comic shop pull me the Transformers comic, right? So you're talking, you know, right now 3, 4, 5, you know, 5, plus I get the facsimiles of some of the key issues of the past comics, so which I just can't really count those as new comics. But as far as new comics, I'm collecting at least 5. Yeah, right, 5? Okay, 4, maybe, like I said, possibly 5, 6. So it's about the same, if not more, than I was collecting back in the day, right, the day. So, again, it's like, you know, and I didn't enjoy every comic, you know, every X-Men comic that got, every Amazing Spider-Man I got. I was, you know, I didn't like them all. I liked some of them. I liked the majority of them, but I mean, some of them, it's like, oh, I don't like where the story's going. Remember, there's the infamous one with Rogue goes to the Siege Perilous. It broke my heart. I mean, there's certain issues that I can remember vividly, and this, of course, is, you know, between that time period. I can't remember what the exact numbers are, but there's some studies and stuff that show it's pretty much that from age 10, I think it's age 10 to 21, or maybe it's 10 to 20, is like the most impressionable time of your life. And a lot of that stuff I have fond memories for because it's in that point, that 10 years old to 20 years old. You know, so of course I'm going to like that stuff. Of course that stuff's going to be ingrained in me. The thing is, the characters that I'm reading, She-Hulk, I mean, these are, sorry, She-Hulk. I ended up getting Sensational She-Hulk when it finally came out. I did get some of the Byrne Fantastic Four with She-Hulk, but it was hit or miss. I didn't buy them every month. Basically, if she wasn't, like, prominent in the comic, I wouldn't buy it. But, you know, the characters are the same pretty much. I mean, Spider-Woman, of course I didn't get any really of the Spider-Woman comics until after the fact. I think I started to get those in the early 90s or mid-90s or whenever. I ended up going back and reading the Spider-Woman comics. I remember them coming out, and I had a few, but I never really read them. And I had liked her from the cartoon, but I never really got into her when I was really young. It's more of a 90s thing for me, getting into Spider-Woman. And then same thing with Miss Marvel. I liked Miss Marvel back in the 80s. I didn't collect the Avengers regularly. And then, you know, Carol Danvers. I didn't go back and read the original series. I ended up liking, you know, Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, in the 90s. And of course, I really started liking her when like Trank Cho was doing those covers, and she'd show up in the new Avengers in the 2000s. Spider-Woman was in the new Avengers too, I think. I liked that stuff, and I kind of started liking those characters. But you know, of course, the X-Men characters, but you know, and Transformers. So a lot of the stuff that we're talking about here, it's not like I'm reading anything new as far as the characters. I'm reading the stuff I read in that time period, but they're just newer issues of those things. you know, the modern version of them. So I just wanted to put that out there for people. I mean, I guess I can get into more of it if you want to, you know, hit me up, give me some comments and stuff. I just, like I said, I know I made the videos and stuff comparing the old art to the new art and stuff like that, and I see people's point on a lot of the stuff, and I agree with pretty much when people talk about the stuff and they bring up specific situations. Most of the time I agree with them. Sometimes I think, I don't know, you know, I mean, hit or miss. So I'm not saying that the new comics are better than the old ones. I'm just saying subjectively for me, of reading the old comics and then reading the new comics, I enjoy them. Do I enjoy them more than the older comics? Maybe not. Some of them, like I said, it's all relative. It doesn't. There's no absolutes here. It just depends. You know, some days maybe I really like a comic, and then sometimes I can't stand the comic. And that goes for back in the day, too. Sometimes I really was into it. Sometimes I just wanted to throw them all out. You know? It just depended on what mood I was in. You know? Or what I was into at the time. Or, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, right now I'm enjoying these comics. So, you know, if that's a crime to some people, you know, so be it, you know? Like I said, as Blue Oyster Cult says, if they really think I'm the devil, let's send them to hell. So, all right, let's go into the She-Hulk comic here. All right, let's see, cover, color, I can't even speak. It's Andres Genolet. I can't remember. I think it's the same person from the other comic. Comics should be. Cover is by Chris Anka. No related to Paul Anka, but anyways, maybe they are. I don't know if it's a he or a she, so I'll say they. But I think it's the same team. I think just the cover's different. I don't think the cover's by the same. Last cover I don't think it was by the same person. But the interior art's the same. It's Rainbow Rowell is still writing it too. So I'm not going to read the previously. Again, I'm not going to read the comic to you. I'm just going to flip through and just show you some stuff. So obviously the main heavy hitters in this one are She-Hulk, Jack of Hearts. You got the Drapurg, I guess, of the Horde, and then Ganymede. I don't know if you remember from the last issue, you know, Ganymede was hired by Drapurg. Drapurg thinks that She-Hulk's the one that slaughtered all his people, so then she's, you know, she's basically turned heel, and now she's attacking She-Hulk. She-Hulk's like, well, you know, basically what the F. And so they fight a bit, you know. Again, this person's art is okay. I can see a lot of the stuff that people talk about with some of the issues of modern art, and I can see this in this. The colors are very Miami Vice. I gotta say that. They're very pastel-y, you know. Not saying I hate them. I mean, I love all colors. You know, I'm an artist, so I like colors. Certain colors I like better. You know, are they feminine colors? Does it really matter? It's like, oh, all the colors are all feminine. It's written by a woman. It's about a female character. Oh yeah, but the female character's big and muscular, like a man. I can't take the insanity anymore, right? Just if you don't want it and you don't like it, don't read it. Don't bitch about it, right? Just read it if you like it, read it if you don't like it. Because you know what? You can complain, you can shout at the, you know, their damn kids murdered my music, you know, all you want. Guess what? You're not going to change anything. Stuff is going to happen, right? I couldn't change Rogue from going through the Siege Perilous back in 89 or whatever that was, you know. So some people wanted Rogue to go through the Siege Perilous. It's not like I could start a boycott, you know. Just read. It's just a fucking comic book, right? Just read it and enjoy it. If you don't like it, then don't read it. Don't buy it. It's that simple. So yeah, they're fighting, blah, blah, blah. I don't know who's getting who the upper hand. She's got this crazy weapon, though, it seems She-Hulk seems to be having some issues with. Looks like Jack of Hearts hit her. intervenes a bit, kind of catches Ganymede off guard, blah, blah, blah. And then, I can't remember. I think there's some drama here. I can't remember what the drama was. I think she's just kind of like, what have I done? Oh, yeah, she kind of comes to. I think he kind of talks some sense into her, and she kind of figures it out. And so then she gets pissed, and then she goes after, what's his face? Butt plug. No, what's his name? Drimpug? I can't remember. She goes after him. Takes out some of his guys. Yada, yada, yada. He's on the run now. He's like, baby, don't let me explain, baby. Blah, blah, blah. This is for my sisters. Okay, whatever. And of course there's some aftermath. I gotta say, Ganon, that's not an easy angle to draw from, a bird's eye view like that. I think She-Hulk looks fine. She looks heavily referenced there, which is fine. A lot of people, somebody was talking about, like, oh, all the comics now are heavily referenced. You know, let me clear something up real quick. The people that think that if you use photo reference, because this has been an argument for years. The people who think, oh, if you use reference, you're, you know, somehow not, it sucks, right? You know, reference bad, no reference good. When you get no reference, right, unless you're really good at drawing stuff, you get some bad art, right? Or you get art that looks, has a particular look to it. Maybe sometimes that has a charm, sure, but you know, I don't have any issue with people drawing, you know, using reference. I use reference constantly. It's how I draw. You know, I don't, you know, when I need to know how to draw something, I get reference for it. And so I don't. However, that said, I don't think this Ganymede was referenced in this drawing up on the top panel, because she looks very dwarven, very squat. She does not look like the same character. Her body looks strange, so, you know, whatever. See, that's what happens when you don't reference, right? You get crappy-looking characters like that, so. Is the plane going to fall out of the sky? Is it going to make me stop reading the comic book? No. But here's the thing, is as I was reading, and like I said, look at her reference there as she's walking away, which her legs look really short. It looks odd. You know, I like the club. I think that, like I said, the club is very Miami Vice. But you know, this is a nice wordless page. It's a lot of emoting going on, like this little alien looking at her like, oh, what's going on with her, the big green girl. This is where I was hoping, oh God, I hope that Jack of Hearts leaves with Ganymede. I don't like Jen being with anybody. I'd get too jealous. Jen, I like her to be single. I don't mind if she's screwing around with people here and there once in a while, but I don't want her to have a serious boyfriend. You know, it's who likes to I don't know. Who likes to if you like a female character, a female in real life, it's like, do you really want to hear about her and her love affair with some other person who's not you? No. So I was hoping that, oh good, he's gone. It's right. And so she's going to cry a little bit, yada, yada, yada. Who cares? She'll get over it. She'll be back to doing She-Hulk stuff, right? It's like, no, he comes back. It's like, oh, God damn it. I'm having, like, different, like, when I remember I said the Rogue thing, I had issues when I was a kid, when I was younger. Now that I'm older and stuff, and I'm reading this now, it's just like, I still have these, I get caught up in the drama. and I don't know. And like I said, it's just like, I mean, this is why you're entertained. This is what you do. You get into it's essentially it's a soap opera, right? And I'm getting into the soap opera, soap opera, yeah. So yeah, I also agree that there are a lot of talking heads in comics, and it's funny because Dave Sim said in that interview on the Masters of Comic Book Art back from 1987, he said, you know, he's like, he says, he goes, stories are all talking heads. And he was making reference literally to the band Talking Heads. And he says that David Byrne, you know, was a big influence on him. And he said, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's just talking heads. A story is just people in a room talking, or people somewhere talking. You know, he said, how many fist fights or how many car chases does the average person get into? Now, I know it's a comic book, and you want it to be over the top, and you want some action, and it's there, because clearly there was a fight in the beginning of this comic that was bled over from the last comic, so there is action. You know, and people get knocked on their ass, and there's, you know, there's stuff like that happens, but, I mean, does it happen constantly? No. You know, there's a lot of talking heads and stuff. If you're watching a movie, what's Game of Thrones? How is that popular? You know, sure, there's some action here and there's some battle scenes, some fights, you know, some prostitutes getting mutilated. I mean, there's all, but I mean, for the most part, it's just people, a lot of people talking in gardens, right? Walking through gardens and talking. So, I think people just like to bitch. I think that's what it comes down to. And they'll find any reason to bitch, you know. Sure, do I like a comic book that's non-stop talking? I think that the last She-Hulk one that Rainbow Rowell did right before this, when she kind of took over and started doing that when she first met Jack of Hearts, there was a little too much talking heads in that one. And I think that there is, you know, you can put too much of that in there, but... And in this one, I mean, it is a little talky talk, but again, I mean, there's, I don't know what, I mean, that's how many, so he comes, let's see, so she's there, he comes to the door, blah, 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 oh, baby, oh, you know, it ain't like that, baby, kind of thing, right? And then, you know, then there's the hand on the hands, and then there's the, I mean, that's a good, I mean, this artist does do a good job on She-Hulk's face, and that's great. I love the side profile. I love the top ponytail like that. I think that looks good. And she really draws her, he or they, really, I think it's a guy, thinks, or they draw them really muscular, really big, broad shoulders. She's a Hulk. I mean, you know, I like that. Maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea. But I like the faces in this. I think I mean, that's a great, when she's biting her lip right there, that looks great. I don't want to see them kissing. Don't kiss my She-Hulk. So yeah, okay, so the end of the comic, what's her face, Hellcat shows up, Patsy Walker, and the other two yahoos are still at her apartment, you know, because she's gone. Remember, they are staying there because they don't have a place to go at the moment, and it's just funny. She comes and she's like, "Hey, we're supposed to have a, you know, a regular standing date on Wednesdays." He's like, "Oh, she's not here, blah blah blah," taking a mini break, and then, you know, I won't spoil all that stuff for you, but again, I guess there is spoil. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. I'm spoiling some of it if you haven't seen it, but that's a great face on Patsy Walker there. It looks really nice with the freckles. I love that. And there's this dipshit. I just like this one line where she's like, because she brings cake. She's like, "Hello, do you like cake?" Everybody likes cake. Everybody does like cake. And that's, I guess, the cover for number 9 when it comes out. Again, back in the costume. That looks like it's going to be a good cover there. I mean, it looks, but that's it. So, looks nice. So, that's She-Hulk number 8. Sorry, it's not going to be a super long video. I'm going to try to make some more here this week. I'm going to be running out of town next week. So, there's that. But you know, and obviously when the rest of my other 3 comics, including the next one of this, and then the other 2 comics come in, and then when I get the new Transformers comic, I'll do a review of that. So I think for now I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm not going to do much music stuff anymore, so if you were here for the music stuff, whatever. By the way, go look at the YouTube, iTunes has like a top 100 albums of all time. Just go watch that list. you'll probably get angry. I still have to go and finish looking at it, but it's pretty crazy. But other than that, I'm not really going into the music stuff at the moment. No new fancy guitars or anything. But I think I'm just gonna reserve, my what do you call it? My videos here for talking about comics for now. And comics, new comics. Like I said, if I want to make an album one or something like that, something crosses my fancy, I might make a video for it. But for now, I think I'll just, wait and see on the comics. Like I said, I've got 4 of them that I know, and possibly 5 and maybe 6 comics coming in a month. So there should be at least hopefully a video every week. Again, apologize for the 2-week interval. But again, this one should have been here last week, and I was planning on it coming, and I was planning on making a video. I had to wait till this week. So, alright. Other than that, I will catch you guys later on the next one. And remember, like and subscribe. Throw some comments in there. Continue the conversation about new and old comics. I'm always open to hear people's point of view. I'll try to respond to it. If not, I will mention it in the next video. But alright, catch you guys later. Talk to you in a minute. Bye-bye.